Hi, I'm Mark, and I'm going to talk to you about the new dynamic SAIPA online logbook. So what is it exactly? Well, basically, we have taken the paper-based logbook that you are used to and transformed it into a modern online logbook application. But we didn't stop there. We've also added additional learning material for each competency, as well as other resources for trainees, ATCs, and OEs. These resources all revolve around improving your knowledge and making you a better SAIPA member. There is also a newsfeed where SAIPA can communicate with you and keep you up to date on changes and new developments from within the institution. This help module will take you through the online logbook. I want to give you a quick insight on how to use your logbook. I'm going to do this in two sections. The first, we're going to take you through the trainee experience, and the second, we're going to take you through the overall evaluator's experience. Let's start with the trainee's experience. The first screen you're going to see when you open up your online application is the login box. There are three functions that can be performed from the login box. The first one is the initial login. You need to be connected and online, in other words connected to the internet, when you first log on. This allows the application to sync your offline profile with your online profile, allowing offline access to the application. Being the second step. Offline means that if you open up the application and you are not connected to the internet, the application will automatically log you in without clicking anything within 3 seconds, allowing you to access your chosen competencies as well as the learning resource center around those competencies. The third one is changing your user details. As the login box is automated after the first successful login, you'll be able to click in the username field, stopping the automatic login, allowing you to change your details at a later stage if you choose to change your password or username. Now that you've logged in, you will see the home screen. This is the core of your application. It contains the three primary sections. 1, the edit competencies, 2, the data sync option, and 3, the where you now. We'll get to those a little bit later. At the bottom, you'll see the 5 icons. The first one is the help support button. That will allow you to watch this video again at any time, as well as give you access to the PDF for your competencies. This is the recommended competencies to do per period, and this is a recommended read and available to you at any times. This will give you reasonable guidelines or guidance on which competencies to choose for certain periods, both indicating the minimum and the maximum that you should be doing within that specific period. Next up, you've got things like the IFRS quickies, you've got the resource center, which is your offline IFRS e-learning material. You've also got the website of the day is video of the week. Enjoy these. You do need to be online for the video of the week website, as well as the IFRS quickies. Let's head on over to the edit your competencies. Clicking on the icon from your home screen will take you to the first screen. This screen indicates which training interval you are currently in. This is preset by your overall evaluator. Go ahead and click on the icon next to the current interval that you are on. The SAIPA logbook now loads. This is the core of your SAIPA online logbook. This entire section is only online and only available when you are connected to the internet. This is where you set up all the competencies you are planning on doing for that specific training interval. The 5 icons on the top that you can see there are red, yellow, blue, orange and green. The red indicates a competency that you haven't chosen yet or not planning to. Yellow indicates a competency that you have chosen for that specific training interval. The blue icon will indicate a competency that you have already uploaded the proof of evidence for and are now awaiting your overall evaluator to complete. Orange indicates that the overall evaluator hasn't agreed with your proof of evidence and has given you some notes and some feedback, and you need to go and act on that and re-upload the changes if necessary. And green indicates a completed competency. Well done. Now that you understand the color coordination within the logbook, let's go ahead and select a couple of competencies. As you'll see, there are 5 core areas that you need to select competencies and become competent within to become a SAIPA member. If you click on one of these boxes, it will scroll down and list all the competencies available for that specific section. The little C that you see on the right hand side indicates a core competency, and the little E indicates an elective. Clicking on the red box will turn the little red box into yellow, indicating that you have now selected that competency for this training interval. Once you are finished with this specific screen, closing it or clicking the little home icon on the top right, you'll be presented with a sync box. This will basically automatically sync the content within about 3 seconds. You can still click the start button if you want to, and this will take your online logbook and sync it in for the offline section for the e-learning center, which we're going to head on over to now. Now that you've selected all your competencies for the current training interval, let's head over to the Where You Now section. This is followed directly after the automatic sync that would have popped up after you've closed your online SAIPA logbook. The screen you see in front of you now looks almost identical to the current SAIPA logbook that you saw, minus all the red icons. This is because this screen works in an online as well as an offline mode. All the competencies that you selected in your logbook are now synced and available to you in the offline fashion, which will lead you to the online learning center, which we'll get to in a couple of seconds. These icons all begin their lives as yellow and over time will turn to blue, hopefully not orange, which is the overall evaluator's feedback, and eventually green, indicating that competency is now completed. Clicking on that competency will open up your online resource center. Let's head on over there now. Welcome to your SAIPA online logbook action area. Each competency will give you access to this action area and it will contain certain things around that specific competency. On the top left, what you will notice first off is that the competency that you've chosen is up there. Please make sure that when you have come from the offline or the Where You Now logbook and you've clicked on it, that the competency you think you're working with is in fact the right one. This will be in the top left hand section. On the bottom, you will see the notes field. This basically covers all the requirements around that specific competency, the things that you need to achieve in order to have that competency signed off by your overall evaluator. On the top right, you'll notice the color-coded icon once again, which kept in mind throughout the entire online logbook. It will be yellow to begin with. Below that, you will notice the little upload button. This is where you upload your POE. In other words, you've done all the work and you think that you have finished all the requirements for the competency, go ahead and upload your proof of evidence. This will of course in turn turn the icon blue and notify your overall evaluator that you have now uploaded your work, and hopefully he will then flag it off as completed. If for whatever reason the work is not up to the scratch or something is a little bit wrong, your OE will give you feedback from his portal. This will of course be indicated in your learning portal as well, as your icon will then of course turn orange, and you'll see a new little link on the top right that says View OE Notes. Clicking this will change the notes section at the bottom, and all the overall evaluator's notes about why he has rejected your competency will appear at the bottom. Of course, going through this will allow you to make the changes necessary and re-upload your proof of evidence, thereby turning the competency blue again, and your overall evaluator will hopefully then approve it, taking that competency to completed. Just below the top left in the middle, you will see the Learning Center. This is where the e-learning, the video, the reading or case study material will appear. If the icon is there, it's clickable, the specific action will open. If there is no icon, perhaps there's an update. Every time this Learning Center opens or your Action Center opens, it performs a couple of checks in the background. Obviously this only happens when you're online and it won't bother you in an offline mode. If there is an upload or an update to the application or the specific competency, a small pop-up box will notify you of this, and a little icon will appear on the top left just below the competency references. Clicking this icon will of course begin the upgrade process in the background. It will allow you to see it as it's happening, and because we've chosen to do this on a per competency level, this generally takes no more than a couple of minutes. Let's head on over to the second section of this help video, the overall evaluator's experience. What you'll see loading up now is the screen where the overall evaluator will be logging into the online SAIPA logbook system. This is a purely web-based system, and the overall evaluator will be logging on the right-hand side, as you can see. Let's go in and have a look at the trainees. The first screen that you're going to be presented with as an overall evaluator is a list of the trainees that have been assigned to you in your ATC. The little blue icon next to any of their names will indicate that that trainee has uploaded proof of evidence to the system, and you now need to perform some form of action. You need to go through, check the proof of evidence, and perhaps complete or perhaps send feedback saying that you don't agree with the work that has been done. Click on the trainee's name and you will see that that trainee's specific online logbook will now load. The color coordinated icons are identical to the physical logbook that the trainee has done. Yellow indicating the trainee is still busy with it. Blue indicating that the proof of evidence is now waiting for you to view. And you will notice two new icons on your screen that the trainees do not see. The blue icon, clicking on this, will open up the proof of evidence that the trainee has uploaded. The little yellow icon next to it is only there if there is a solution that you need to verify the work against. This is only available to the overall evaluators, so please do not make this available to any of the trainees. Another icon on the left-hand side of those two is the notes icon. If for whatever reason you feel that the trainee hasn't completed that specific work correctly, click on this icon and you can send back some notes and feedback. This will in turn also flag that specific competency as incomplete. The trainee's online logbook will then of course indicate to him that for whatever reason this competency has not been passed, and he needs to go and review your notes, make changes and re-upload that proof of evidence once again, ensuring that you can mark it as completed and he can continue with his journey. The final step as an overall evaluator, as you see on the right, of course, is to complete a competency for one of your trainees. If you've gone through the proof of evidence and the solution if there was one, we now need to mark that competency as completed. The little green icon with the tick mark on the right-hand side of that specific competency will allow you to do this. Clicking this will open up a pop-up box. This will give you one last chance to not complete it, but hitting the submit button within there will of course mark that as completed on both the SAIPA online logbook as well as the trainee's offline learning center. Please don't forget, as an overall evaluator, it is very important for you to log into this section at least once a week to make sure that you are keeping up to date on your trainees' proof of evidence uploads. There's going to be nothing worse than coming back in sort of 3 months and having to go through 50 or 60 documents. The system will, however, also notify you on a weekly basis if a trainee underneath you has uploaded proof of evidence for you to go and review, and perhaps mark as completed or to give feedback if you feel that the work is not up to scratch. Here are 5 pointers to ensure you have a smooth experience with the SAIPA online logbook. Number 1, read the PDF that outlines the requirements for your competencies. This highlights the minimum competencies you need to complete per training interval. 2, you have an upload on your POE limit. Each file has to be in a PDF, it has to be less than 5 megs, and all work requirements for that proof of evidence has to be in a single file. 3, online versus offline. The online system, of course, gives you access to the full SAIPA online logbook, and the offline gives you access to your current chosen competencies and the Learning Center. Of course, everything is available when online. 4, the sync button on the top there. If your overall evaluator has sent you feedback, click the data sync. It takes no more than 3 seconds. I highly recommend doing this the moment you open the application if you're on an online environment, i.e. connected to the internet. Number 5, if you are in the Learning Center or the Action Center and you are presented with updates, please allow it to update. This will present you with new learning material. We've now come to the end of our help video. Please ensure that you go through the help e-learning module. This will allow you to understand the things we've gone through in this video in greater detail. It'll ensure that your experience with the SAIPA online logbook application is a pleasant one and help you learn the ins and outs of the steps required in order to go through your competencies nicely. If you have any questions or require a bit of support, please send these to support@saipalogbook.co.za. We hope you've enjoyed the logbook experience as much as we've enjoyed creating it. Good luck, and we look forward to seeing you as a qualified SAIPA member.